It's not impossible.
It's
It's just
over,
you.
EGAL, man.
It's just you who thinks it's impossible. It's very possible. It's very probable. We just need to wait.
Very probable.
Yeah, we just need to wait until the Club World Cup is over, and then boom, he's ours.
Put a number on it. Out of 10, how probable is it that Arsenal get Rodrygo?
I think it's
I hope
60-40.
I'm wrong, by the way, EGAL.
I
I
think
want you to
I
be
think
right.
I think it's 60-40 he leaves. The Club World Cup is going to give us a big example of what's going to happen next season. And I think the moment he realizes, yo, I'm like fourth or fifth in the pecking order, I'm not even a guaranteed starter anymore, he's out.
Fuck, you know. And you think we'd be the front runners? Because there's got to be several teams interested,
I think
quote
it's
unquote.
Arsenal, Liverpool are the two front runners. I think Man City and Chelsea kind of are working their way out of that. Chelsea because I don't know if they're going to pay his wages, and Man City because they've already have 8 wingers, bro. How many more wingers are they going to sign?
But why are you so confident that he will leave Real Madrid and sign for us, though? Like,
Because
what gives you the
we're
confidence? Like,
currently
I'm trying to be optimistic. You're not selling it to me.
we're currently the people who've spoken to his entourage and shown. You know what it is? It's like we've already been working on him. We've already been working on trying to get this deal sorted. We've already been showing everybody, putting in all the information that it's going to happen, if it does happen. And I do think, as much as we were working on the Sesko and Gyökeres deals, Andre Berta has spoken to Leal and Rodrygo, and Rodrygo seems to be the number one guy. And they're gonna wait and see what happens with the Club World Cup before they make any major moves on the wingers. All this stuff about Nico Williams, I'm not surprised because he wanted ridiculous wages, but I don't think
He
he's
never
worth.
wanted to leave Spain. He just like
Yeah,
clearly.
his move was always Barcelona or stay.
I
But yeah,
can't believe.
the main
I
thing
hope you're
is
right.
the main thing for me is when I see guys like Kiko Suarez, when I see all these people saying Arsenal, 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 Rodrygo, it has to be coming from some sort of conversation that we've had with his team because it's not just out of the blue. And
It's gonna cost a lot, though, again, man.
he's gonna say everything he has to say I'm still a Real Madrid player. I want to stay here. He doesn't want the fans to turn against him. He doesn't want to say something like he's gonna friggin' leave the club. This is the club that he grew up in. He basically was here ever since he left Brazil. So I don't blame him to be still attached to the club. But the moment he has a conversation and he finds out that he's still gonna have to play on the right, he's still gonna have to do a lot of the hard work. He's not gonna get to play in his
He
preferred
ain't scared of
position.
hard work, man.
He's not gonna get to play in his preferred position on the left. It's gonna be another season where Vini and Mbappe are gonna be the main guys, and he's just gonna be like third fiddle, maybe fourth. He didn't play last year, back in the last season with Ancelotti. Honestly, I just think the way things ended last season and the way things are gonna end go into the Club World Cup, if it completely changes and he's the main man for the Club World Cup and he's absolutely killing it, there's no chance they're selling him. But if he has a poor Club World Cup and he finds himself on the bench, I think that could change his mind.
I hear that, but like
A
he's
lot
got
can
all the.
happen in the next 10 days.
No, but what you're right. But what did you say earlier? Yeah, in relation to Sesko and Gyökeres, you said you don't tell. You didn't say this. I'm paraphrasing, but you said something along the lines of you don't tell them the truth in relation to their playing time and all of that. You just get them through the door, right? So if we flip that on Real Madrid and you imagine you're Xabi Alonso, which I know it's romantic, he's gone over there, but he goes there with a big reputation. He follows a big manager in Carlo Ancelotti. There's pressure to deliver. There's pressure to be better than Barcelona. You've got a million problems. You need to implement your tactics, do all of this, cope with all these pressures. And Rodrygo's another one, bro. So would you not sit there and say to Rodrygo, yeah, bro, you're gonna play. Trust me. Be patient. Da, 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 da. And clearly, Rodrygo just wants some positive reinforcement. So if he does that, this move ain't going nowhere, bro. Surely.
Sorry, my son's in the room.
No, it's calm, man. He's bro. We're keeping it offensive. Keep spinning, man. What do you want a kid to do? Not be a kid? Like, keep
Yeah,
going, bro.
you can't tell him anything.
Like, bro, he's a
He's saying
youth, man.
no. He's saying no. I'll tell you this,
He ain't
Rodrygo.
agreeing with you. I know. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, if
Because all Xabi Alonso has to do is tell little whisper sweet nothings. Like Rodrygo, I'm not trying to be disingenuous to any women, yeah. But if I look at Rodrygo, yeah, and we just say, like, if you was with a girl, you haven't been the best to her. You say you're gonna change your ways, da, 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 da. She would keep saying, I'm gonna leave. But deep down, she wants you to just show that you're open to changing. If you just show you're changing, or you give her that encouragement, that's all she wants to hear, bro. That's what Xabi Alonso's gonna do to Rodrygo. So how's it gonna go far, bro?
I think Rodrygo is gonna get an honest conversation from Xavi, and we're gonna see what happens after the Club World Cup. In my opinion, if he gets all the promises that he gets, and the game
Mm.
doesn't go well, then in my opinion, the only way he stays is if he's a big part of the plans going forward, and they want to make sure they give him a lot of minutes. But with the signing of the new youngster from Argentina, I don't know where he's gonna be in the pecking order, bro.
But did we not talk about depth?
I know that Real Madrid want depth, but in the same breath, this is a guy who's how old? 23? How old is
23,
Rodrygo?
24.
And he's never really been the main man, and he's never been in the team. I think he's ready to explode. And he
Pause.
can and I think he could definitely see himself leaving. Right now, we have to wait because Xabi Alonso warned Real Madrid about Rodrygo and Arsenal holding conversations. He might want to keep him. You're
Wait, what
right.
did you say? Who warned who?
Apparently, Xabi Alonso has been warned by Real Madrid that Rodrygo might be looking to leave. So he's going to have to say whatever he has to say to keep the player on side. But if he's one of those guys like Arteta and Pep, who are like, if the player wants to leave, you let them leave. We got our guy.
I hope you're right, man. But if
I
we
don't
don't
know.
get,
Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm too confident. But in my eyes,
we all hope you're right. If you're Arsenal fan, you
Rodrygo
know,
has a
I can't
choice.
say I share these thoughts.
Rodrygo has a choice. Move to London, stay in Spain. If you're looking at the weather and you're looking at the team success, maybe you want to stay in Real Madrid. But if you're looking at furthering your career as an individual player and getting yourself to a place where you're going to be the most decorated player, you're going to be one of the more leaned upon players, you're going to be playing in your preferred position, you're finally going to be given the keys to do whatever you want on that left-hand side. I think Arsenal makes so much sense for him. And the only other place that I think makes a lot of sense for him is if Liverpool make two crazy sales in Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez, and they throw the money for him too.
There's several teams I could see him joining, man. I think City, if they were on him, could have a good case. I do think we could present something decent.
Bro.
Huh?
City got 8 wingers. It's not happening.
Oh, it's Pep. The Pep factor, the fact that City are winners,
Bro.
they're rebuilding. The rebuilding carrot could be thrown to him. Rodrygo, regardless of who City have, bro, you could play in the mid. You could play in midfield.
They're gonna have to
10,
sell
you could play out wide.
Doku. They're gonna have to sell Doku. They're gonna have to sell Doku. They're gonna have to basically tell, what do you call it?
Doku cannot. If you're Pep, Doku can't chat shit to you. If you get Rodrygo, where's Doku?
They're gonna have to tell Foden.
Foden is cool with being a sideman. And again, we're speaking about depth. PSG could get involved. There's bare people that could get involved.
No,
they could definitely get involved.
I'm actually disgusted. Now you're just trying to piss me off.
Bro, you genuinely think, yeah, if Rodrygo, people tell me I'm wrong for this. Boom. Rodrygo, let's say in the EGAL's reality, yeah, before we talk about signing for Arsenal, boom. It's been made clear with Real Madrid, Rodrygo, you need to cut. Am I wrong for saying, whether you think Arsenal could get this one or that one, am I wrong for simply saying this, people? If it becomes abundantly clear, Rodrygo is for sale, he is going, PSG will be in the mix, Arsenal will be in the mix, Liverpool will be in the mix,
where would he play?
City would be in the mix. Bro, good players can play everywhere. You make things happen when you have good players.
Dembele is there, Barcola's there, Destiny Adu is there.
Brother, who the fuck is Barcola to Rodrygo? Sorry for swearing, I know your kids are about.
You're saying the fourth option.
Are you mad? Are you genuinely mad?
Rodrygo's gonna get signed to be fourth option.
You're playing on. You won't be fourth option. You're going to play under Luis Enrique for one. You got rotating wingers. They've won the Champions League. You would be one of the main kind of man. Neymar probably will sweeten it up and gas you a bit. Are you mad? Because you're moving like he becomes available for Real Madrid.
Now you show me one credible journalist.
Liverpool, them man are there.
All right. I think going. I think Liverpool's the only threat, but they need to sell to buy.
So Liverpool is the only threat to Arsenal side of Rodrygo.
I think Arsenal right now is the only team that is seriously going hard on Rodrygo. And if somebody beats us to Rodrygo and takes him from us, we're dickheads.
That's a good point, because let's assume Rodrygo either goes somewhere else or he doesn't join Arsenal, right? Nico Williams moving like he's going to Barcelona. I'm not sure how much we want Leao, but we've heard that it's anything from 90 million to 100 million euros. If we don't get any of those three, yeah, where does that leave us? Because as much as we're talking about striker, we need somebody on that left-hand side.
If we don't get any of our main targets on the wing, that just tells me that one, we don't want Leao. Two, Rodrygo stays And if he goes somewhere else, I've already said we're dickheads. Nico Williams going to Barcelona. Personally, I think he just you're right. He never wanted to leave Spain. He always was using all of us for better wages. And outside of Rodrygo and Nico Williams,
I'm having Lookman.
What?
No, I'm replying to that comment as you was talking. I'm having Lookman. If
outside of those guys, I have questions over Lookman translating outside of Gasparini's system. Because once again, similar to the Portuguese thing, Gasparini players, when they leave his system, they don't look as good. And this is a man who's already flopped in the Premier League for several clubs.
Fair.
So I'm worried about Lookman. I think the best option right now is
you get Rodrygo. A lot of what we got though.
You get Rodrygo, and if you can't get Rodrygo, get me a left winger /10. I like the Morgan Rogers type shot. I like the Xavi Simons.
That's peas though. I don't buy the Morgan Rogers.
I know, but I'm just saying the prototype of that kind of player would be better for us than just the out and out winger, because Leao or Eze, I'd rather have Eze.
Bring Eze. That's another one that can get thrown into the mix.
Leao or Xavi Simons. I'd rather have Xavi Simons. These are I want Rodrygo, or get me another player who can play two positions adequately at a high level.
We've been linked with Kudus. Would you have him?
Kudus is overrated.
Damn.
Kudus is overrated. I don't think Kudus is. I think he's a purple patch player. He's not really like consistent like that throughout the season, or else he would have had West Ham higher up the table.
We've been linked with another defender as well.
I like this. Scouts, do your job. We don't need to spend 25-40 million on every player. Do your job. This is where Leo gonna know we got Gabriel.
Still linked with Hato as well.
He's gonna cost crazy money.
Get them in. I want this lad. Hato is cool.
He's gonna cost crazy
money. Xavi Simons is not trash, but I think he's a bit overrated, and I don't know how he ties into life.
Trash. I question your ball knowledge.
He's not trash.
From the age of
you can't call Kudus a purple patch player and then not say the same about Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons is better than him, 100%. But he struggles for higher levels of consistency.
Kudus is a Honda Civic that's getting Mercedes prices.
Come on.
He's a Honda Civic that's getting charged Mercedes prices. I'm sorry. You're not the player that people are trying to charge you for. If he was 45 million, fairs. But 80 to 90, West Ham's taking the piss. West Ham's taking the piss.
But wouldn't you do the same if you was them? Like, everyone's got money, everyone's bumping each other off in the market. You might as well. So you are right. I think with us trying to get Victor Rice in January, with us trying to get Howson apparently linked with Hato, linked with the Alessandro brother, it's clear to see once again that we need some defenders, people, which will be quite interesting. What do you think of Antonio Nusa? Because we've touched on Xavi Simons, we've spoken about Sesko. What about this guy?
I don't know enough about him to give you a fair and honest.
We wanted him when he was at Club Bruges.
I don't know enough about him to be honest. Haven't been paying attention to him specifically.
He's from Norway as well. I mean, he's 20 odd years of age. I think he's a purple patch player. I'm not really on paying 45 million. I can see why he's linked with everyone. I'm not really on it though, and I don't know how much to buy into this, because as you know yourself, it's easy to link Arsenal or any team with just anyone for any reason. There's no way of fact checking or verifying these things. That's just about how. Finally, wait, is it finally? No, we've gone over that. This is the final thing I wanted to ask you before I let you get out of here. Yeah, AC Milan are interested in Zenchenko, and simultaneously there's reports about they want Kivor as well. Where are you at with one, if not both, going? Could you use both maybe to get Leao cheaper? I don't know.
By the way, I just want to say quickly, Kudus, I do rate him. But off the ball, guys, defensively, if he's a forward, he doesn't score enough goals. If he's a midfielder, off the ball, his positioning is poor. And if you're using him in the 10, in the transitional areas, he has no real asset that is outstanding besides taking his players on 1v1. Like, he's not really excelling in anything for me.
Ain't that real potential to work with?
I'm just looking at it. I'm saying to myself, what are we saying? What are you guys seeing in Kudus to say he's the guy over some of the other guys, and you're willing to spend top dollar for him? We're spending Rodrygo money on Kudus. You know that, right?
I'm not, because we're not doing that.
No, but That's wild. Let
You might as
Chelsea.
well get a young player with scope to get better.
Even that pisses me off. Just go get Eze.
Yeah, that as well. That as well. Eze, bro, if I could get Eze done, I would. I just don't know for you're going to spend anything from 70 upwards for either Gyökeres and Sesko. You throw in the 50 for Zubamendi, the 5 for
Get
Kepa,
Bowen.
all the
Yeah.
other stuff. Is there going to be money for that?
No,
Get who?
but we can't get Bowen because Bowen. We seen him play on the left. He's not that good, and it's gonna.
Nah,
It's
but
gonna
I'm having Bowen. Bowen can play across the front three. He's good on the transition. I'm having Bowen, but they're not selling him. He's their talisman. Or they're not selling him at prices we think make sense.
Eze's 28. Who cares, bro? You can still
Yeah,
get 4
Eze being
years out of
28,
him.
don't mind me.
You could. Ian Wright joined Arsenal at 28. Still became a club legend.
It just depends on the price with Eze. Rightly so, if you're Palace, you want to charge someone through the
Zola
roof.
joined Arsenal at 28. You guys know how many good years we got out of him.
Literally, when he's on his last legs. It's like this comment. I'll take Kudus / Eze, but not more than 55. I'll push the boat out a bit more for Eze if push comes to shove. But
Bro,
then we're being hypocrites, because you might have to just put the money down if you want these guys.
West Ham want 20 million more than Palace want for Kudus. Are they nuts?
It comes down to Berta being able to hustle, man.
Hey,
but yeah, we're saying for Kivor and Zini.
This comment, Berta's a G. He went to AC Milan and said, "Yo, come to the table with a proper offer or leave."
But we don't. Should we rate him for that, or is it just basic competencies? Because on one hand, we've missed that.
Because Edu before he would have been like, "Hey, what are you willing to give me, man?"
All right, to be fair to Edu, though, if you watch Gabriel Magalhaes' interview, we might have never known what of Magalhaes was if it wasn't for Edu's late call. To be fair, so we don't always know what's going on the back burners.
Hey, he took him off Man United. I think he saved Gabriel Magalhaes' career.
Not Everton and Napoli. He said it in the interviews. Like, Napoli were on to me. Gattuso was calling me. Carlo was calling me. I've done some medical or something. Edu called me late at night. I can't lie. Even though I think Edu was a dud, I don't think he can be blamed for everything. Other people must have fucked up.
Fair.
But Berta is an upgrade. We need someone that's serious. We need someone that you haven't said it specifically, but you've been touching on it. We've got the ability to pivot. Now, pivoting doesn't mean anything if we don't get people through the door, but that we always got caught in this silly little trap, I feel, as Arsenal fans or as a football club. Like, we might want Nico Williams. We're not looking at nothing else. He signs for us, great. He doesn't sign for us. At least we tried. We're keeping the powder dry, which is cool on one hand. But you see, when you need a goal in must-win games like the semi-finals, Arteta can't go in the 85th minute. Hey, warm up, please. You're coming on.
You see,
we know what we need to do.
Zenchenko is going to do well in Italy. He will do really well in Italy. I think AC Milan should pay us at least like 15 million minimum. But is that
it's more the wages with this guy, innit?
Do AC Milan have money? Because bro, they look so broke right now. The way that they're selling all their best players, they look like a mess.
If you're an Italian club, you're coming to Arsenal. Maybe more so for Kivor than Zini, because Arsenal say he's got a year left on his deal.
Ramadan, allow me. What is he talking about? Gassing him up for putting the lights on.
You're asking, like, if you're the Italian clubs and you want Kivor, for example, you're coming to Arsenal and saying, can we get a loan with an option, maybe an obligation? You're not trying to front up 30, 40 million quid.
Bro, honestly, if you don't offer me 50 million plus, I'm not even looking at you about
for Kivor.
For Kivor.
Listen, I hear it because that's peas.
If you're not offering me minimum 50 million plus, I'm not even considering.
50 is not mad in today's day and age, but the clubs he's linked with, they ain't bidding 50 million quid, bro.
So we're keeping Kivor. We're getting another defender on top of that can play long balls in the guy from Lille. And call me crazy, if Partey leaves, we're kind of fucked.
We're in trouble. We need to get another midfielder. There's no we can tie over until January or the summer. You need to get two midfielders.
One guy who plays for Sevilla or
Valencia. Bring him. He can help in the squad. But this is where it goes back to the year we brought Declan Rice in. For me, I wanted Lavia as well because that just felt like the younger party. Now we can talk about how it's worked out for Lavia. He's a decent player, but we need to start being proactive now, man.
Lavia could potentially help Chelsea win a league one day.
Lavia's cold. It's just injuries messed him up. Lavia's cold. Doesn't get enough hype for all them Chelsea midfielders.
He's still a baller.
Steelers a baller.
I think he's the best out of all of them when he plays. Maybe Caicedo looks the best, but when they play together, all three of them, Lavia always stands out to me.
I think Lavia's the more all-rounded. He can do a bit of everything. I think Caicedo's the best naturally. Like, I love them tough tacklers, midfielders. And one does wonder if we did get Caicedo in January and then Rice in the summer, what would have been? We probably would have seen Caicedo play right back at a point like Partey. Saw him do it for Chelsea, but
You know
it is
something?
what it is.
I don't want no what if scenarios, man. I just want us to win.
That's all we've got at this moment in time. Like, is what if last season, unprecedented
Look at
injuries?
that comment from Jay. This mentality needs to die. 50 million plus for a
Boy,
bench.
then we indirectly you could argue that's going to become the case for Arsenal anyways. Whether we rate
Every
Martinelli or not,
single,
he's probably going to be on the bench. He's about 40, 50 million. Kai
every
Havertz,
single.
you can not rate him, but what is his valuation according to whatever? Naturally, my point being, you are going to have that kind of bench. 50 is not really that deep. You are going to indirectly have that. If Kai Havertz plays up front, Sesko's on the bench.
You know something? We're looking at potentially spending around 80 million pounds on some guy who technically is Real Madrid's bench warmer. One of our best players in the Emirates era, Alexis Sanchez, was a Barcelona bench warmer.
But as long as we sign players for Arsenal and they get us over the line next year, I don't care. All I know is
Henry, our club legend, was a Juventus bench warmer.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Going to be difficult getting some money from Italy unless Milan makes some sales. But naturally, even if you've got money, like even if the Italian clubs got money, they take the English teams for twats, bro. They know English teams got more money than sense. We always see it. How many times, and I've got no examples, but a Premier League team might want a player from Spain and they're saying a madness to sign him. That same player might go from Spanish club to Spanish club and it's peanuts. They're trying to, like, I don't blame them because I'd be doing the same. Premier League revenues up there, them man over there, you're going to act broke. You could have 100 million to spend. You're going to tell Arsenal, I've only got 20 odd million quid. Can we get a loan with an obligation to buy? Pattern that up and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's crazy, man.
Let me ask you guys right now. Kivor for 45 million, is that wild?
No. But I don't think you get it.
But would you find somebody on the market for 45 million that could replace Kivior's safety net?
But if you give me Hato and these kind of guys we're linked with, that's cool. I'm not selling Kivor. The only reason I would sell Kivor if he sits there and says, you know what, I've enjoyed my time. I know I'm not going to play that much. Magalhaes is ahead of schedule. I want to go. I don't want to keep unhappy players. But I want to build onto the depth because I think we've got into that scenario where if you look in our defensive depth, we have got numbers, but it's a bit cloudy. You know, Tierney's gone. That's one. Calafiori, I love him, but you missed 100 odd days last year. Tomiyasu only played 6 minutes of Premier League football. Yes, we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly. God forbid he gets injuries. Zinchenko's days are numbered. We've got to be very careful around Timber and White. We could do with a bit of replenishment. And if I forgot anybody beyond the obvious starters, then that tells you everything. We need to buffer the squad. I don't expect it all to get done in the summer, but the vast majority needs to. And where at least I feel the free signings that upgrades our starting 11, it has to be done. You need that left wing. You need that striker. You need that centre mid. You don't do any of that, Mikel Arteta, I'll allow Berta for a bit, but Berta, Arsenal Football Club, you're not serious. I hope it all works out. I hope there's no injuries. We score goals. There's no referee issues. We win every game. But I just want to know, do you think you've learned your lessons if that's the case from last summer? If you have, fair enough. Let's see how the season plays out.
What's your expectations? Or are you just waiting until the window's closed?
Well, I don't have expectations anymore. They lead to disappointment. Show me. I told you this on the last stream. I'm at the point with Arsenal. Show me. Arteta, and you must know something because there's egg on your face if it flops. You're talking about goosebumps and this and that. We know what we needed to do last summer. Just show me. If you want a striker, bring him in. You want a winger, bring him in. The club have cried too much about a lack of depth. Show me different. Just show me. Don't talk. I don't want to see talking no more. My expectation would, if I had to put an expectation on anything, if you put a gun to my head and said, what do I think Arsenal would do away from obviously Kepa and Zubimendi, if that's to happen, I only truly believe a striker. Whether the striker is good enough is another thing. I only truly believe we'll sign a striker. I think we'll sign a left winger. I've seen realities where we haven't. I don't think we're going to sign another 10, even though I think we need that. In fact, to be fair, I'll do you one better. Striker and some defensive body. I think those two players are nailed on, whether that's a centre-back that can play full-back or versatile defender, a centre-half on whatever side, a left-back or right-back. I think a defensive body and a striker. Apart from that, I think we need a lot more, but show me a guy, man. Like, well, not you directly, but you get the point. Just want to see now. Chatting's done now. I'm not on it no more. There's no hiding place for no one. Like, everybody will get praise if we do what needs to be done and obviously got something to celebrate. Everybody has to hold corn. I don't want to hear anything because the only consistency in these 3 seasons that have just gone, which have been very different, we finished second. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. What are we going to do about that? When City were apparently meant to fall off and they're a juggernaut, we're meant to be there to pounce. Whatever way we shape it, and yeah, there's nuances, we weren't. So where does that happen? Arteta, I think you're a good coach. Are you a winning coach?
Deluded. I find it difficult to be humble, but I need to.
Go on.
I find it difficult to be humble with these rivals who just constantly talk shit. But right now, it's just like what we don't have legs to stand on sometimes, man. It's annoying.
There's nothing. You can bring up all the great statistics and the development and how good Arteta is and the development of the players and the valuation and the
We're right there,
atmosphere.
though. We're right
Huh?
there. We're right there.
Yeah, we are. I'm not saying we're not wrong. I'm not, because these things are statistics that shows we've got a good team. But also the same thing is we're not getting over the line. You can have all of that. The bottom line is if you're that good, why aren't you won a trophy? Genuinely. And I think there's 100% logic in that.
You know what I'm
Winners
saying?
win and losers explain.
We're at a tipping point. Either we fall which way, forward, or we fall backwards. Whichever way we go,
And I was
there's gonna
saying this
be
last summer.
there's gonna be major changes next year
I
if
hope
things
so.
don't go well. And this year is the year before the year, hopefully, where we go and retool and get the pieces needed. But
What
yeah,
do you mean the
Deluded,
year before the year?
I feel like I lost you there. This is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
What do you mean the year before the year? Like, so you mean not this season coming, this the following one from that?
this is the summer where we need to get all the extra pieces that we need to have that finished team. And if you don't win it this year, everything's gonna go to shit. There's gonna have to be an actual rebuild where you get rid of the manager, not a rebuild. Like you just need to get rid of the manager at that point.
Because he's big, bro. He's the second. I'm not even trying to run agendas. Reality is, you get paid 15 million a year. I do think you're a good manager. You have shown improvement. You have shown rebuild. But can you get us over the line? Can you get us to the land where you said when you took over we deserve to be? We're flirting with it. We're not there. Every year you don't do that. It's gonna
Hopefully, the
get bigger
process
and
gets
bigger.
done.
And at some point you're gonna have to try something different, bro. Like it's not Arteta FC. It's the
At
football
some
club.
point, people need to realize it's not only Arteta though. The owners have
It's
to
not,
stand.
but fundamentally, bro, this is football. At some level, the manager is the most disposable. Do you think you think Carlo Ancelotti is the only problem with Real Madrid? They know they fucked up, but end of the day, rightly or wrongly, bro, this is the business of football. I'm not saying we won't get over the line with Arteta. We all hope we do, but at some point, something's got to change, bro. I'm not even. I hope we win and it's happy as Larry. But at some point, the gaffer's got to go. You've been here the second longest manager now, only after Pep. And I know and that even adds the point. In a day and age where football fans, sorry, the nature of football, they're very ruthless to managers.
But
Bro, you've been caught some luxuries, cuz.
you know why I'm not giving up on the manager yet? It's
I didn't
because
say give up. I said at some point, man, I thought look at what's going on.
yeah,